Hi everybody, been a while, how are you? I'm fine, thanks for asking. News-wise, I did talk to you for a couple minutes last week, but let's get caught up real quick. We've got 3 groups of cats and kittens in right now, none of who were born here this time, which is I think our first time doing that in Connecticut, maybe not, because we had a couple that showed up that way, I guess, but not really. Alone entirely. We had mom cats in at the same time. But you know that already. And then what you may or may not have heard is that we're still trying to get all of them healthy. It's been a real struggle. First off, there's a URI of some type, probably herpes. There was also some Khaleesi virus, which may also show as an upper respiratory infection, sneezing, snotty eyes, that kind of stuff. We're pretty sure we had some Khaleesi because of the symptoms of that being like tongue ulcers, and sometimes it makes kittens limp a little bit, and we saw that, but that's mostly all resolved. In Cape's room, Cape and her 3 kittens still have some major URI symptoms. Major, like, their eyes are weepy and they sneeze a lot. And then the little green collared girl, whose name I'm definitely not going to get right if I try to come up with it. No, I'm not. Anyway, the little green collared girl is the worst of them. Her nose is so full of snot, you can just hear her breathing through it. She breathes through it fine, which is, I guess, the good end of it, but it annoys me. It's like really bad, like listening to somebody who won't just go blow their nose all day long. It's tough to see her like that, but she's fine. She's happy. She's putting on weight. They're all just perfectly happy with what they are. And we'll get over it in due time, I'm sure. I've given them a major course of famciclovir, which usually helps us clear these things right up. So far, no luck for them. Now, the other groups have also shown symptoms of this on and off, and I thought that we'd licked it in the other 2 rooms, but I did notice the Rainbow Room guys are a little bit sneezier than I would like, but that's, again, I'm just being super sensitive. The big deal, of course, is the ringworm that we know that they have. We found for sure that they have it in the Rainbow Room. Blazer has not Blazer, Jumper has the most obvious, like giant bald spot on her back. But also the little girl there who is Smock? The names, I still haven't got the names down because I haven't talked to you guys about them enough yet. Anyway, the girl in the Rainbow Room, the little girl, was the one, though, that really had the obvious, like, detectable ringworm, funny enough. Having a bald spot doesn't necessarily mean ringworm. We've had plenty of kittens that have come in and had bald spots of various types that were not ringworm, which is, by the way, a fungus, not a worm. It's just like athlete's foot. So we've had plenty of bald spots that were not that, but on Jumper, her giant bald spot, one of the first things that you do look at, it's not a definitive test by any means, as we see. You look at it with a black light, and if it glows a particular sort of a yellowish green color, it's like a really gross yellow green that it glows under the black light, that's a pretty good sign that it's probably ringworm. But if it doesn't, and hers doesn't, hers glows, but it's not that color at all. It's just like a skin glowing color, really. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean that it's not ringworm. And so the fact that we then detected the characteristic color on the little girl helped us to sort of realize, okay, even though it's not the right color, this is definitely ringworm on Jumper. So that's where it started. I'm pretty sure that I have seen it now on Cloak, because Cloak has a new bald spot on her neck, which is an unusual place to get them if it's not ringworm, because it can't be like over grooming or something. She can't even really reach her own neck. So the thing is that when I look at that under the black light, it glows like Jumper's did, the wrong color. But again, that doesn't necessarily mean it's not. We just assume it is. So we're treating them for it as well. It's supposed to be super contagious. The first time I've ever experienced it, I think I had it myself when I was like in high school, but that was so long ago, and everybody in high school gets that kind of thing, and it was no big deal. And even for the cats and the kittens, it's not a big deal. The worst that they get is bald and itchy. It doesn't really cause any actual problems. Um, and in fact, if you get ringworm on your own cat, you might just let it go, and it just goes away after a month or so. It's gone. But in places where there's a lot of cats, like our place, or people fostering or shelters, it can just keep going around and around forever because there's too many cats. And so they usually want a treat to get rid of it, and so that's what we're doing. Now, we started with the oral medicine. That's the one that is Dr. K gave us that she says is really good. And we're supposed to give it to them for a week on, and then a week off, and then a week on, and a week off, and a week on, until their bald spots grow back, and then we retest them. So as of last night, the kids in the Rainbow Room have had 1 full week. And I guess we'll kind of see how it goes. But we're not going to stop there. DJ did some research online and found specifically the University of Wisconsin-Madison, UW-Madison, which is a place that I didn't attend, but I definitely spent a lot of time at when I was young. So yay for them. They have a wonderful web page all about ringworm, and the facts that they present, is very scientific. They've tested just about everything, and they say this is effective, this isn't effective, our testing shows, and it's great. And the thing that they seem to really suggest is doing a dip in a lime sulfur. That they give all the details there. Don't take medical advice from me, but go to their website. So they say, not a dip, sorry, they do say that word at some point, which is why I said it, but it's not actually a dip that they want you to do. They say the cats take it a lot better if you sort of mist them with it instead of actually like submerging them in it, which sounds like a cool idea. So we've ordered some of that, and it was supposed to arrive yesterday, but Amazon here perpetually sort of does this to us where they're like, oh yeah, we'll get it to you on such and such a day. And then they're like, actually, we meant 3 days from then. So whenever it comes in. But I bought just a ton of stuff. I got all the lime sulfur. I got a few other things that they said were effective. I got some new cleaning product. Now, our Virkon is that we always use to sterilize the rooms is effective against ringworm. So that's great. But it's not even on the list of stuff that UW-Madison recommends. So I got a few of the things that are on their list that they recommend to try out. Maybe we'll have more fun with those. And then something I can't believe I never thought of this before, but when it comes to misting the cats, they recommend using one of those garden sprayers, the kind that you pump and it pressurizes, and then you spray it and it mists. Like those are so nice to use for doing the garden. They're fun. They make little ones too that are perfect for, say, misting a cat, or the thing that I've done for years and I've looked for a solution for, and I never thought of this, is putting Virkon in the room, where I have to walk around with a hand sprayer and spray every single thing in the room, and my hands get a little tired, like it's just natural, no matter what good shape you're in, and I'm not, you get tired of that. So I've looked before, and they sell like these electric misting guns that I found, and I bought one, and it's terrible. It doesn't work at all. But the garden mister is the perfect idea for that. So I bought a couple big ones too for going around with Virkon and doing cleaning stuff. I'm so excited about that. I can't believe I never thought of it before. It's exactly the right tool for the job. Okay, I've already gone on a giant ramble today. Look at that. Before I get off the topic, you notice that we pulled up the rugs in their rooms. And we're going to be taking more steps for at least a while to make the entire house a little bit easier to clean. I may even go as far as pulling up the rugs in every room. I haven't really committed to that yet. Oh, that reminds me. I mentioned this on the Discord already, but the big news is we had the faculty in for testing to see if any of them have ringworm on Monday. And it's been a whole week since then. If it's as contagious as people say, the results on Monday might not really mean anything. But as of Monday, we've found now the test results have come back, and they're all negative. None of the faculty had ringworm on Monday. So fingers crossed that's still the case, and that it hasn't really escaped into the house, and we can keep it that way. That would be really nice. Of course, as contagious as everybody says it is, I'm still going to want to do some extra cleaning. You'll notice in the rooms, not only did I pull up the rugs, but we've pulled out a bunch of the toys. We're going to also pull out, probably more. I have to take care of the beanbag chairs. We're probably going to start vacuuming at least once a day. I think UW-Madison recommends twice a day, which I'm starting to feel like a real slacker, which is why you might have seen me yesterday in there vacuuming without even taking the cats out. I'm like, what's the point? If we're going to have to do it twice a day, they're going to have to get used to it real fast. And they're all pretty fine with it. The only thing that I foresee being a big issue is Cloak, who still won't let me pick her up. She's such a sweet kitty, and yesterday I had her actually getting up on the beanbag chair with me to take treats. She's just so afraid. She's so skittish, and the thing that just gets her every time is if I try to pick her up even a little bit, then she's just like, nope, I'm out. So that is going to make it extremely difficult to sterilize her room, because we have to get her out of the room in order to do that. There's just no other way. And getting her out of the room is a tall order, although I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is just do the old B.A. Baracus A-Team method of giving her a giant dose of sedatives and put her on the helicopter. Put her in a carrier and take her out. So I think that's going to be our plan. She's our Mr. T. Okay, let's get started. I think you've got all the news. I think I've covered everything well enough. I hope so. If you still have any questions, good luck getting them answered, I guess. I don't know.